Okay guys, so in this lesson we're going to be talking about Instagram stories, and I'm just going to be introducing you into Instagram stories. So it's a relatively new feature on Instagram, and it's much like Snapchat. So I'm just going to introduce you how to use it, how we can utilize it for our business and personal brand or personal account. To start with, if we come to the very top of Instagram, we can see we have the stories option. So everyone's icon that we can see is an individual story posted by that person. At the moment, if we just tap on the first one, Ryan Hildreth, and we'll start to see this guy's story. As you can see, it scrolls through and jumps to the next individual story within his actual stories. So to skip onto the next story inside of his Instagram story, all we have to do is just press on the right hand side of our mobile screen. So we'll just press right, and as you can see, it takes us to the next story. If we want to go back, we just press left. Now if we want to skip onto somebody else's story entirely, we just swipe right. And the same again, if we want to just skip through, we just press on the right hand side and left to go backwards. And to go backwards onto Ryan's, we just swipe left, and to go forward, we swipe right. So that's the basic functions of Instagram stories. Now as you can see, Instagram stories is completely different to what we normally expect on Instagram. Here is a sponsored post. We'll talk about that in another lesson. So Instagram stories is normally something more behind the scenes, more day-to-day stuff that people do. It's not necessarily high quality images that people post on Instagram itself. It's a little bit different on Instagram stories, but we'll be talking about that in a different lesson. This lesson is just basically going over Instagram stories and how we can actually use it for our business and for our personal brands. That is how we basically use Instagram stories. Now to actually upload our own Instagram story, all we do is, if you see on the top left hand corner is the camera icon. We just click on that. We're going to be brought to this image. So here's just live picture of a pen right in front of me, and we can even, if a picture was taken in the last 24 hours, we can just come down to the bottom left, click on this icon, and it's going to show us all of the pictures that were taken in the last 24 hours. So we can just choose one of those to upload onto our Instagram story. As you can see, I am now in one of the images I've uploaded to Instagram stories. So I'm just going to show you the editing features on our Instagram story. So in the top right, we have a few icons. We're going to start with the very left one and click on that. I'm going to have a load of different icons that we can add to our picture. So I can either add the time, I can add the temperature, I can add the location. So that's extremely important. We'll talk about that in just a moment. We can just go through and we can just type happy. We can add emojis, whatever we want. We can make them bigger by putting our fingers together and pulling away, a bit like we would do when we zoom in on our phones, much like that. So we can start drawing on Instagram stories. So as you can see, much like that. Change color if we want to. There's a lot of different options, like so, that we can play around with. Just press done there. Or we can just type. So hello world, and then we can change the color if we want. Just hit done, and then we can move that wherever we want. Again, we can make it bigger or smaller, much like how we would zoom in on our phone. And that is how we create our Instagram stories. So now I want to talk to you a little bit about Instagram locations and Instagram hashtags within our Instagram story. So if we just go back to the smiley face icon in the top left, as you can see, we have location. So if we hit location, it's going to bring up a list of different locations, so we can either search. It's normally pretty accurate as it's done by the location of your phone. Your story was taken in a different place, you could just search for that. But for now, I'm just going to type in Louisville, Texas, like that. It's the third one. And again, we can make this bigger or smaller wherever we want and place it wherever we want on our story. So I'm going to just place it there, like so. And hit the icon again, and it's going to bring up a hashtag. So now we can add hashtags if we want. I'm just going to type in Instagram course for this. Again, much like the same, we can actually going to get rid of Instagram course, make something a bit more, so I can show you an example in a bit. So I'm going to type in Instagood, put this here like so, just hit done and hit send to, and we're just going to go to your story. So if we had people who are following us, we could send individual stories to them, but not on this account. So I'm just going to hit send. So this is going to go to our story, so anybody that comes onto our profile is going to be able to see this. As you can see, to see our own story, we just come to the top left hand corner and click on you, and as you can see there, we can see our own story. So now I want to show you the hashtags and the geotag. So we use the hashtag Instagood. So as you can see, at the very top of this hashtag, you can see we have stories. So anyone that's used this hashtag that has a high quality post is going to be able to see that their story in these hashtags. So this is a great way of people finding your accounts on Instagram. So if we got a good high quality story and people find it engaging, they may want to click through to our profile like so, and they could follow us if they wanted to. So let's move on to places on Instagram. So we used the geotag Louisville, Texas. So again, much like it was in the hashtags, you can see people who have used this geotag appearing in the Instagram story. So this is a great feature for businesses, as you can see, people are tagging businesses in their Instagram stories. So you can tag your own location in your geotag, or other people can tag your business and they can see your business in the Instagram stories. So again, much like the hashtags, you can just click through and follow people based on their Instagram stories. So a great way to get in new followers and get a new exposure to your Instagram account by using these Instagram stories.